Okay, today we're going to talk about exercises that no one gets excited about, and that's upper body rowing motions. Bent over row, one arm row, renegade row, you name it. Everyone likes to press, bench press, overhead press, push press, but if you don't do any upper body pulling motion, you're going to start developing imbalances. And one of the most common, and we see this with people who bench press all the time, is their shoulders are always hunched over like this. So we have to do bent over rows in order to pull the shoulders back. You pull your shoulder blades together and you improve your posture. I mean, basically, this is where you want to be with posture when you're walking around. You don't want to have your shoulders slumped over here like this. In particular, those of us that do a lot of kettlebell pressing, where we have our elbows in like this, or kettlebell jerks, push presses, we're always in this position. We need to make sure we do some exercises to open it up, to get those shoulder blades together and get the shoulders in a good alignment. So I'm going to go over a couple exercises today. The first one I really like is the one arm stacked kettlebell row. Real quick, with one kettlebell, it's going to be very basic. Take a shoulder width stance, bend your knees, have your midsection resting on your upper thigh, and then I have the kettlebell handle at a 45-degree angle and just pull basically right below the pecs. And no motion with your body, so no up and down motion. You want to stay in that horizontal position throughout the entire duration of the set. So I'm going to grip the bell, breathe in, pull. Breathe out as I lower. Breathe in, pull. So you breathe in, contract your abs, brace for it. That's a very basic move. Even with heavy kettlebells, it gets easy fast. So, I mean, this is 62 pounds. You can work up to 105 pounds very easily. So one thing you can do is start using two kettlebells together. You stack them. So now I have 124 pounds. And I want to make sure I loop one hand all the way down. You want to slide the hand through the first handle as far as possible. Let one bell collapse on the other. And that's how you get it in place. So now I have a really strong hook. And I can lock these bells in for the entire duration of the set. Other side, hand is looped all the way around. So the first handle is at the bottom of your palm, and then the other hand bell is at the fingers. You're going to breathe in, pull. Awesome exercise for the rowing position. You get to work each side in balance. Now make sure that you don't use a lot of upward motion. You might have to pull up a little bit as the weights get heavier. You don't want to turn this into like a cheat curl type motion where you're using a lot of momentum. Now the other rowing exercise I like a lot with kettlebells is the Renegade Row. So I like to have bells basically about 2 inches apart, handles turned at a 45-degree angle, and then you're going to get at the top of a push-up position or a plank. Right away you feel your midsection contracting. So this is not only a good upper body pulling exercise, biceps, lats, upper back, it's also great for your midsection, your core, especially if you hold positions. So I'm going to push one bell in hard. I'm going to push the right bell in hard. I'm going to pull with the left. Hold it up here for a second. Lower. Push the left one in hard. Pull the right. Hold the right one for a second. Lower. Now what I want to do is avoid as much rotational drive as possible. So on YouTube University, we see a lot of this kind of motion. This is worthless. This is not doing anything beneficial. You want as little rotation as possible, and you want to make sure that you hold one in the top position. Don't just bang them out. With bent over rows, it's that hold up here that really allows you to engage the lats and hold the bell in place. So again, one more time, push the right one in, pull, pull. Push the left one in, pull, pull. Now you may find that you have to take a wider stance like this in the beginning, or you need to choke up higher. So for example, you can start Renegade Rows in this position, and then you work your feet back, and then eventually work your feet together. What you will find is there is so much chest stability that comes into this that often your pecs are sore the next day, just from pushing that one bell into place while you pull the other. Your biceps are going to feel it, your lats are going to feel it. Contract your lats as hard as you can before you initiate any pull, whether it's a Renegade row or whether it's a one-arm stacked row. Final exercise is just a double bent over row. So I like to take a fairly wide stance, handles at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to loop my hands around so I get kind of a hook, and then I'm going to breathe in, pull, lower, breathe in, breathe in. Okay, I like to keep my head in a neutral position, so I'm not looking forward, I'm not looking in between, just keeping it straight in line with my body. Rep range I like is sets of 5 for strength. If you want to build up some endurance, put it in a metabolic circuit, do sets of 10, sets of 15, it's really up to you. But always balance overhead pressing with rowing. So if you do 10 sets of overhead pressing at a workout, do 10 sets of rowing. By the way, pull-ups do not count as the same benefits here. Pull-ups are a great exercise, and I like to pair up pull-ups with bench presses and then overhead press with bent over rows. I find that you don't wear out the shoulder axis as much when you pair it up that way, rather than doing pull-ups and overhead press on the same day, which works a lot of similar muscles even though they're antagonistic. Now, pull-ups are great for developing the lats. Nothing will make your lats bigger than pull-ups. So I'm a big fan of pull-ups, but they're not going to help that much with this posture benefit. This is where rows are basically dominant. You get really good at rows, you're going to have a really good posture. Pull-ups, we still tend to have our shoulders rolled forward, so that can often exacerbate that problem. If you do too many pull-ups, bench press, overhead press, not enough bent over row, you're going to have some issues. So here's 3 exercises to play with. Double bent over row, one arm bent over row, one arm stacked bent over row, and then the Renegade row. Pick one exercise per workout, or just do multiple exercises per workout and have fun with it. See you next time.